Alright everybody, so I wanted to do today's video. It's going to be an update on the Onision court hearing that happened. So I got a few things wrong in my last video that I did. So I got the information as I was seeing it through Twitter's, Twitter telephone. And all the information that I had gotten previously, some of it was wrong, some of it was right, so I wanted to give it all to you guys straight. So, Mr. Repzion went to court in Tacoma on on January 24th, Friday, 2020. This court hearing was for a PPO. The EPPO was against Chris Hansen, but Onision got the wrong one. Now let me go through my pictures here and read off a few things. I'm gonna leave a link. I'm gonna leave the image on the screen for you guys to listen as I go along, if you guys want to stop and watch. This is a transcription of Onision's court hearing for a protection order against Repzion and Chris Hansen. It's accurate to the best of my ability. I have paraphrased where information wasn't important enough to someone's exact words, and I've left out some of the names of the lawyers involved. They are a matter of public record, but I don't think it's necessary to advertise them without their consent. My own notes are towards the end. That's a very good idea. Thank you. Most people wouldn't do that. There were two hearings before this one. When the judge arrived before the other two, she explained that the standards for granting this kind of order is high out of fairness to the respondent. That standard is linked here with the current link to it. She also explained that there was a preliminary hearing and later an evidence gathering hearing would be scheduled if there needed to be one. Obviously, this never came to pass, but the info is relevant to my commentary below. Repzion was there with a lawyer, and a lawyer was also there for Chris Hansen. Onision was there alone. Keep that in mind. I think most of us know this. I was seated where I couldn't see if Kai or the other kids were there. They more likely were not there, considering some of the situation. There were a lot of Repzion supporters there. We filled the courtroom. Good job, you guys. You guys were amazing for supporting Mr. Repzion. Now, Greg can't twist this, to his own for his own benefit. The case about Chris Hansen was handled first. Chris's lawyer was there on his behalf. He was not there. The judge asked Onision for his legal name and Chris's lawyer, I'll call him CL, as well. She swore Onision in and then asked for preliminary motions. CL, Chris's lawyer. My preliminary motion is one to dismiss because of improper service. There also might be issues based on jurisdiction depending on what remedy the petitioner is requesting. It's hard to tell from the petition. Judge. Just for some background, Mr. Jackson came in on January 10th to request a temporary order pro tem, did not find an emergency, and this hearing was set. That's what brings us here. We do have a return of service on Mr. Hansen. The state marshal in Connecticut was unable to make a personal service. There was someone that indicated that they were served. Onision. Your Honor, is that the proof that was served to Daniel Sulzbach, Repzion? Judge, there is no proof of service. Onision. Well, I have it with me for Daniel Sulzbach. Judge. Well, that's another case. Onision. Yes, ma'am. There is an affidavit that a Chris Hansen was served, but it is the wrong Chris Hansen. Lawyer. Oh. He laughs. I like it. I like his lawyer already. By the way, I don't think this is the lawyer Mike Morse. I think this is the lawyer that he had sent to the judge on his behalf. Judge. And there is also this form from the Connecticut State Marshal that they were unable to make service with the other another Chris Hansen. Chris's lawyer. I guess Chris Hansen is a common name. He laughs. Judge, reading from the affidavit. I am not Chris Hansen from TCAP. Chris's lawyer. That's sort of tangential, then. Judge, so you understand there was no service. Onision. I do, Your Honor. Judge, would you like to have it continued so you can get service? And this is where Onision gets very weird in the way he mentions things. He goes, in your system, there should be a request for dismissal from the other party, but also for myself. After speaking to an attorney, did he? Who said there was he said that there was different legal avenues that we could take, and this wasn't the most effective, in their opinion. So he's taking their opinion, not formulating his own. Greg's a moron. Judge, this was the most effective? I saw your affidavit, and it sounded like you wanted this dismissed. Onision. So the police officer that showed up when Chris was trespassing, ignoring the 3 no trespassing signs that he and his entire crew walked by. He was cut off. Your Honor, again, to the merits, let's talk about whether there's service or what's going on. Exactly. Onision. Right. So when the police officer gave me advice... You're going to listen to a police officer's advice on this? Okay, which is okay. But Greg is trying to make himself sound smart, by the way. He wore glasses in the courtroom, which he doesn't wear. He suggested that I take the avenue of petitioning for an anti-harassment order. I followed his advice, and when I consulted legal feedback, the attorney... Judge cut him off. I'm going to caution you, the proceedings are being recorded. Good judge. Onision, that's completely fine. Judge. Okay. Onision, when I consulted an attorney, they said that there are different options that would be more effective. So I decided it would be the best if I withdrew from this and moved forward differently. Excuse me, Greg. What the fuck? You're right there at the courtroom to get a protective order. What different avenue can you take? Judge, it seems like there was never service on the proper Chris Hansen that you're asking for a dismissal. Onision, I am, Your Honor. Judge, okay. Judge, I'm going to go ahead and call the next one. There was a brief pause while people shuffled around. Repzion came up with his lawyer. Repzion lawyer. Judge, do you have any preliminary motions? Repzion lawyer. Your Honor, we'd ask, 1, that the petition doesn't provide for harassment. Judge, okay, let me back up. There is an affidavit, Mr. Jackson, that you wanted this to be dismissed also. Onision. That's correct, Your Honor. The legal counsel I spoke to... Really? They advised me that there was more appropriate legal course to take than the officer recommended in association with Chris Hansen. What the hell, Greg? Judge, there was another affidavit from another person? Repzion lawyer. That's correct, Your Honor. Neither Mr. Sulzbach filed that. Mr. Sulzbach does YouTube. This was one of his followers who filed. Good on them. Judge, I'm going to dismiss this. Lawyer. We'll agree to the dismissal. The hearing was over at this point and everyone involved in the case left. Those of us there for Repzion came over to say hi and my partner and I left after that. My perspective, this is from the guy who wrote this perspective. I think his name's Avery. He posted a comment in my other video, which is why I'm doing this video today. Onision came with 2 thick envelopes, which I would have guessed was evidence against Chris and or Repzion. Maybe he didn't get the memo that this was not an evidence-gathering hearing, though legal paperwork tends to be fairly transparent about what happens during which hearing. This strikes me as somewhat similar to Onision's phone conversation with Shiloh's manager, where he tried to make this case to someone who had no stakes in the matter whatsoever. Thankfully, the judge wasn't having one molecule of it. Exactly. Like, that judge radiated just irritation from Onision automatically. Greg's gonna try to spin this to where I'm calling it now. Like, in Greg's new video, in Greg's next video, I think he's gonna try to spin this to where he's gonna make it seem like it's the judge's fault and that the judge didn't want to believe him and like everybody's against me. Wah wah wah. I think that's where he's gonna go. It's just speculation at this point because who knows with Greg. He's so transparent most of the time. He just radiated disdain. When he came up to stand in front of the judge, he smacked the envelopes down on the counter in front of him. He proceeded to stand there as if aggravated the entire time and kept making put upon sighs like, When he went to sign off on the dismissal of Chris's case, he picked up the wrong pen. It was an electronic signature, and let it drop audibly. It was like he forgot that he was the one to cause all this mess. He blamed everyone else in the courtroom, from the judge to the people who were there to wait for their own cases to be seen. Maybe not as bad as the people that the judge sees every day, and definitely well more restrained than we've seen him. But still bad court behavior. I agree. I agree Onision had really bad court behavior. I really have to wonder if he didn't decide to walk back to his nonsense rather than to pursue the case that was so clearly not in his favor. His ego is such that it's public. Legal blow against it would be unacceptable. I'll be really interested to see whether he actually does anything further or whether he just never speaks of this again. If there is another court date in the future, I'll definitely try to be there. The guy who wrote this. And now there are some pictures that are out there that are circulating that I will actually put up on the screen that's kind of funny. Greg was standing there wearing a cheap fucking tuxedo pantsuit that looks like it's oversized for him, where he's wearing his bulletproof vest underneath, wearing sunglasses and a freaking beanie and Adidas Predator shoes. Seriously, you had to wear the Predator shoes? How dumb are you? I mean, judging by the fact that you went to a court hearing without a lawyer, you went to in front of a judge without a lawyer, just shows your stupidity to me, Greg. Or James Jackson, James Jackson, you are a fucking moron. And you know what? The next time you go in front of a judge, wear something nicer. Don't dress like a freaking slob. You don't need a bulletproof vest. What do you have, such a fucking ego that you think that someone's gonna come and get you? And Jesus Christ, dude, looks like you didn't even take a fucking shower before you went. And at least you had the decency to shave before you went. Come on. I mean, come on, guys. And anyway, that's all I have for today. I'm gonna see what comes next. Hopefully there's something else. I'm also going to leave a link to 2 channels underneath this one. There's one that's going to go to Drama and Opinions. Her name is Magdal. Go check her out. She's absolutely amazing. She read this on her channel. And go check out Mr. Repzion's channel if you haven't done that already. If you're not part of his channel, go check it out. He does something kind of hilarious because apparently Greg strutted in like he owns the fucking courtroom, and it's fucking hilarious the way that Mr. Repzion described it. But anyway, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this, and I'm going to relax. And I don't know if I'm going to be uploading later today. It depends if Onision does make another video or not. But I will keep you guys updated, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out, y'all.